Great. Thanks a lot. Matthew Lee, Inner City Press, on behalf of the Free UN Coalition for Access, thanks a lot for this briefing. I saw that the Sustainable Energy for All is involved in this campaign about zero gas flaring by 2030. And so I wanted to ask, it seems, number one, what's your involvement in it? Are all countries signing on? Are some countries going to keep flaring? And then for Akon, I've seen, wait 1 second.
Akon, part of the question is for you.
Yeah, no, sorry, don't worry. So there was one about gas flaring.
I have the first part.
There was one about gas flaring, but since you're here, I wanted to ask you this. I've seen these reports or interviews where it was said that you own a diamond mine. So I'm not saying that it's an industry that has its problems. Is that also kind of a social enterprise? Do you think that the industry can be improved in some way? Do you run it in the same way that you're running this clearly kind of social enterprise? And what's the relationship between the two? Thanks.
Actually, that was probably around 2006, 2007, leading into 2008. At the time, there was a huge issue about blood diamonds. That was the big thing that was moving around at that time. And I was more part of a culture that all we did was wear diamonds. I mean, at the time, I was heavily engulfed in the hip-hop culture. And diamonds were everything. We used it to market, we used it to promote, we used it to sell records. And I noticed that majority of the diamonds that was being worn at the time, in the big controversy around blood diamonds, it was something that needed to be done about it. So it was more used from a place of marketing to be in a position to where I can be able to speak and help to resolve issues relating to the diamond issues in certain countries and parts of Africa, and to help to clean up the image of those roughs coming out of Africa and what was led to getting to those things, and kind of better getting a grip on and understanding of how those diamond mines were operated, how they're being conducted, controlled, and all into how everything was actually, how the owners of those diamond mines also were being held accountable for things that was happening on those mines itself. Because from that time, it was really bad because of the kind of behaviors that was being put out, and the kind of things that was happening with, children and rebels and all kind of things related to diamonds and the African youth at that time. So ultimately, it was more of a plot and an idea to give me a face in that world to be able to make, certain changes and make some differences there.
And on the gas flaring, it's one of the initiatives we're very proud of. The World Bank and a number of institutions were working on it for over 10 years. We know, for example, that about 4 years ago, the gas flared in Africa could light up the whole of the continent. Yeah, but it was burnt. And it's been being burnt for 60 years, just burnt, just like that. In the North Sea, zero flaring. In fact, in Norway, they don't allow flaring, and they even put a carbon tax. It's still profitable. So why would companies come to Africa and just burn it? Lack of markets. So what we've done, we've built a coalition over the last 2 years. We've signed up Shell, Total, Eni, Statoil, and several other oil companies, 9 of them in all. We've also brought together about 6 countries, a number of them from Africa, who have signed on. And when you look at the totality, we have now companies and countries that account for 40% of the flaring signing off that there will be zero routine flaring by 2030. As we speak, last week, I am informed that we could get 3 more majors. That will kick us up to about 60, 70%. Our dream, Secretary General's dream, and President Kim, is to go to 100% by December. Now, yesterday, our advisory board heard the figures. If we get zero flaring, that amount of gas could light up 1/3 of Europe. Now, for me, it's been a quest since 2001. I did my very first gas flaring conference in Nigeria in 2001. I knew nothing about it. I was working there, and I just got angry. Why are you burning this thing and we don't have regular electricity and it's here? So a lot is happening, and this is the kind of coalitions we're building around sustainable energy for all.
And just one thing, where do things currently stand with Nigeria, particularly with the government coming in?
That's the big thing. We're very happy. Yesterday, I was informed for the first time the government announced that they will allow prospecting for gas. Nigeria is the country, we call it, this is what we say. Nigeria is the oil country, is the gas country that happens to have oil. It has more gas than oil. When they begin prospecting now, they may discover over 170 trillion cubic feet of gas. You know, they're already a key player in LNG, but you can imagine the impact for the rest of West Africa, the West Africa gas pipeline. So what I have done, just to conclude, I have set up now the African Energy Leaders Group. We'll be looking at some of what Akon and others are doing bottom of the pyramid, but we're looking for big energy projects that can utilize that gas. More importantly, making LPG, liquefied petroleum gas, clean cooking, to save 600,000 lives every year in Africa. So with entrepreneurs like Akon joining this, he's doing lighting now, but one of the areas I want him to look at is cooking solutions. Senegal is the most advanced in West Africa on LPG, but they have a long way to go. Ghana is next, Cote d'Ivoire. I give you an example. In Ghana, up to 2 years ago, almost 70–80% electrification, but most of the people rely on charcoal and firewood for cooking. Absolutely. So people miss the cooking side, and that's why we are launching the campaign on energy, women, children's health. As Sheila said, it is the #1 killer. It's a silent tsunami killing you in the evening. Kerosene lights, you guys can relate. We go to bed and you close the windows, the kerosene lamp is there. You're poisoning the kids, premature asthma. Thank you very much. We got to go for lunch. Any other questions, send us emails. Thank you very much.